Welcome back to some new r/PettyRevenge stories. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Job Interview. While I do have a job already, I thought it would be worthwhile to see what else is out there. A week ago, I found a job posting on Indeed. It sounded like a good gig, paid good, and is work that I like doing. The only downfall is that it's a 35-minute drive out of town. I had a good conversation with the business owner via the online chat, and he seemed like a good guy. I explained that I work every day from 7 AM to 3:10 PM, and he understood that there was a bit of a commute to his shop. He asked me if I could meet up with him at 3:30. I told him that it wasn't possible, as I was done at 3:10 and couldn't do a 35-minute drive in under 20 minutes. I explained that I would be leaving town at 3:10 to come and see him, and that I would see him when I got there, somewhere around 3:40ish. I gave him my phone number, just in case something was to change, and we left on a good note. I drove rather fast, getting there at 3:37, happy that I got there in under 35 minutes. I show up, business closed. I figured he was somewhere nearby, so I got out of my vehicle to search for him. I look over to my left to see two teenagers moving some materials. I approached them and asked them where their boss was, while explaining that I had a meeting with him now. One of them then informs me that he just left a few minutes ago, but that he could call him back to come meet me. He calls his boss, saying who I am, etc. The teenager chuckles, says okay, with a "you gotta be kidding me" look on his face, and then hangs up. Teenager, to me, he says to go home. I asked him to repeat himself. He said go home, this time laughing uncomfortably. I now have another 35-minute drive ahead of me and am very irritated. I decided to leave as his boss instructed, but instead of driving the gravel driveway back onto the highway, the way I came in from, I decided to leave him a present to remember me. Some donut tire skid marks on his front lawn as I tore out of there. 30 minutes after that, he felt the need to reach out to me and to introduce himself via private number, but I let it go to voicemail as I was driving, which upon listening to later on, further proved to me that all his negative Google reviews were more than likely all true, and that this person isn't someone to do business with anyway. The next story is called 10 Years Later. When I was in 6th grade, a boy named Tom messed with me all day, every day, especially during PE class. I remember thinking about how I was going to enact my revenge on him one day. Well, fast forward to 10 years later. I am working at a popular lunch spot. My manager asked me about hiring this new guy, named Tom. I knew it was him, and I gave him a bad recommendation. But that wasn't the end of it, because he still got hired. I found out that Tom had a girlfriend, who he was trying to keep a secret. One of my coworkers, who happened to be the niece of the owner, tells me she has a big crush on Tom and that they had a night together. I say to her, "That's crazy, did you know about his girlfriend?" To say she was shocked is an understatement. My coworker immediately asked me for the girlfriend's Facebook information, which I eagerly gave to her. She writes up a beautiful Facebook message to Tom's girlfriend, telling her everything that had happened between them the night before. After that, she went home and told the owner about what a slimeball Tom truly was. Tom got fired a week later, and his girlfriend broke up with him. The third story is called Payback. When I was 20, I started a job as a teller at Wells Fargo. At the specific location, it was a trailer, but that's what we called it anyway. Just picture a super long, skinny building. This was only for a drive-thru and was located next to the actual bank. This drive-thru had 8 drive-ups and 2 pull-ups for merchants. The merchant pull-ups were literally on the building, and the others were in front. 4 of the drive-ups were on one side of the trailer, and another on the other side. It took at least 5 of us to man this on a slow day. One day, my boss let everyone go to lunch at once, except for 3 of us. Myself, Kim, and Jessica. I was completely by myself on my side. I had to man 4 drive-thrus and the merchant. Doing the merchant is time consuming. There's typically a lot of cash being deposited, which takes time obviously to count, etc. On this day, Kim and Jessica just didn't feel like working. They just sat there as I was trying to help 5 separate people at once. Jessica walked over and told me to hurry up, as people were waiting. I looked at her in disbelief. I asked her to help, while Kim just sat there staring at me. I got so mad I called Jessica names. Straight up. My idiot boss comes back from her lunch, and Jessica goes straight to her and complains about me. I got written up. My boss didn't care about the circumstances, oblivious to the lack of scheduling on her part. Whatever. I ended up getting fired because Jessica just couldn't let it go. She was traumatized. It also didn't help that my boss kept making me work the merchant lane. Years later, I opened an account at a local credit union. It was just an account for fun money. I totally forgot about it after like a year and realized it was in the negative. It was something like $3. I go in to take care of it, and lo and behold, there's Jessica. She immediately recognized me. I go to the counter and another girl pulls up my account. I immediately tell her why I'm there, of course. Jessica sees this as an opportunity to embarrass me. Also, there are at least 4 other account holders in the small lobby. The teller who was helping me had to call a number to reset the account. Jessica walks over, leans over to this girl, and loudly says her account is in the negative. She needs to pay that first. Then she glared at me and smirked. I let the girl finish the call and get things squared away. I got my account to a $100 balance. Not much, but again, this is just my fun money account. I head out the door, and as luck would have it, I run into the branch manager. I told her about Jessica and that I was considering closing my account over it. About 2 hours later, I got a call from the branch manager. She apologized profusely and told me Jessica had been let go because it wasn't the first complaint about her and not the first time she had been unprofessional. The last story is called Stupid Card Game. I work in a hotel and cover the PM shift, 3 to 11. Our AM shift person drives almost everyone crazy. And no matter how much we've all complained to management, nothing has been done. So I took matters into my own hands. I work for a hotel chain that gives you a cookie at check-in. It's the AM shift's responsibility to bake cookies, and bake enough to hand out to all of our guests. This last week, I came in for my shift and walked into the AM person pricing items that go in the gift shop. Not a big deal, or so I thought. As I started getting settled at the workstation, they told me that they baked the cookies, but did not have time to bake them, and then also handed me a stack of papers like breakfast charges, credit card authorizations, etc. that they also did not have time to get to. As they are closing out of their shift, they realized they started a game of solitaire on the work computer, and took the time to finish the game before they left. I went to the office to vent to my friend, who is in sales, and learned that the AM shift had baked the cookies 4 hours before I came on duty. So they said while the AM messed around. I was so livid I almost walked out, but my friend convinced me to stay and said she would talk to management on my behalf. I then decided to delete Solitaire from both workstations. As they are company-owned computers, you can delete apps, but installing them requires the login of the IT department. Maybe now things will get done without the distraction of a stupid card game. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.